So there I was. I had just come out of my first Steps to Success training. I was less than a week old in my brand new home-based business. I was still working a ton of hours in my traditional business that I owned for my family. And it was Tuesday afternoon. I had scheduled my very first home presentation at 6 p.m. on Tuesday evening. And I had scheduled that with my enroller, who was now my wife. And I made a commitment to my business, and here it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and my enroller comes over to my house and says, "Okay, let's take a look at your setup. Let's get everything squared away for you. Let's get our presentation, our product display set up, all that kind of stuff. By the way, how many people do you have coming tonight?" And I said, "Well, I haven't actually made any phone calls yet. I think we maybe should reschedule this for Thursday night. That'll give me a little more time. I've been busy, reading my notes from First Steps. I've been busy writing out my list of names. I've got 200 people on my list of names." And she looked at me and she said, "Brian, you're a coward. You are a coward." She actually said a little more colorfully than that, but that's what she said. And it totally rocked me. It was like, you know what, you're right. I've already given up on my hopes and dreams before I've even made my first phone call. That was crazy. And so I was terrified. I was scared to death. And so I looked at this piece of paper that we had that had a couple of scripts on it. We didn't have this beautiful script book like we do today, this big hunkin' script book with 60 different scripts in it and all that for every situation you can imagine. We didn't have that. We had a few scripts. And I found the shortest one, which was called the opinion script, which is now on page 33. It's literally like that long, it's super short. That's the one I chose because it was so short. And I read it like a robot. I sounded terrible on the phone. I was talking to my best warm friends, like my warmest market. These were salespeople for Nike and Adidas. These were top sales reps for their company. These were guys that had just left a corporate career and were looking for a home-based business. This was like the best possible people you could ever imagine for a home business like this. But at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I hadn't called anybody. I picked up that incredibly heavy phone that had teeth on it, and I read that script like a robot, and I read it to 9 people at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. At 6 p.m., we had 8 of those 9 people showed up. Now, I wish I could say everything went fantastic. We got everybody signed up, sold tons of product, but that didn't happen. We had 0 people sign up. In fact, 20 years later, none of those people have ever signed up in my business. We sold 1 bottle of product. And the great thing was, though, I realized that, you know what? These people aren't going to reject me. They're rejecting the business. They're saying no to this opportunity maybe because my skill of presenting wasn't very good or whatever, but they're not saying no to me. We stayed friends. I learned a lot that day. It was a really, really valuable day. My question for you is, what was it that got you over that fear to make your first dial, to make your first phone call, to talk to your first person and risk rejection from somebody that you actually care about their opinion? And a lot of folks have, they've gone through the boot camp. Maybe day 1 of the boot camp is fantastic for doing just this. Maybe you've gone and listened to Prospect and Close Your Way to Millions, or one of Danny's other fantastic audio trainings that will help you get enough confidence and posture to be able to make your phone calls. Maybe you went to First Steps to Success, and that's where you got the courage to get out of there and do something. Whatever it was, I'd love to hear what your story is. And maybe you're somebody who hasn't yet made their first call. I can't encourage you enough to just get on the phone and do it. Break through that fear. I know the gentleman that runs Earn Pro Leads, David McMenemy, and he actually sells leads to a lot of Danny clients, and people buy leads. I think sometimes they buy the leads so they don't have to talk to the warm market. But I was talking to David the other day, and he said that 65% of the people that buy leads never call them. And I'm like, wow, it's just crazy, and it's just this fear of rejection that we have, or this whatever it might be. What is it that it's gotten you through that? Please put your comments in the below this post. We'd love to hear what you did to get through that first one. The people that haven't yet made their call are going to be really excited to hear the things that you did. And I'm really hoping to hear some stories about people who made their first call after watching this video and have made that first breakthrough. It's a huge one. It's a big step in your business, and we're excited to hear you. So thanks for joining us on Project 1000.